Imagine being 21 years old, carrying the hopes of one of the richest football clubs on your shoulders, and transforming from a backup at Manchester City to the main man at Chelsea, all in less than 2 seasons. What drives someone to step out of the shadows, endure relentless pressure, and redefine the future of a football giant? And what does Cole Palmer's rise reveal about Chelsea's high-stakes gamble on youth, money, and the business of global football? This is not just a story about goals and assists. It's a story of risk, reinvention, and millions of euros on the line, a blueprint for success or a cautionary tale for a new era in world football. Stay with us, because by the end of this video, you'll see why Cole Palmer and Chelsea could shape the future of the game, and why the outcome is anything but certain. Let's rewind. Just a year ago, Cole Palmer wasn't even a guaranteed starter at Manchester City. He was the promising academy kid, training alongside legends, occasionally tossed onto the pitch for cup games, or to replace tired legs when the title race was already sewn up. To most outside observers, Palmer was another talented youth in Pep Guardiola's bottomless talent pool, a player with promise, but lacking a clear path to stardom. Then came the surprising transfer. In the summer of 2023, Palmer made headlines by choosing Chelsea, not just for the wage bump or the glamour, but because he wanted to play, to really play. Chelsea, under new ownership and ambitious leadership, had spent over $1 billion on transfer fees since May 2022. Youth was the new gold, and Palmer was one of their brightest investments. Chelsea's strategy was bold and risky. Build a team around hungry, flexible young talents, all while keeping an eye on financial fair play rules. The goal? A sustainable dynasty that could withstand the turbulence of modern football, financial shocks, abrupt managerial changes, and the constant threat from European powerhouses. In short, revolution, not evolution. Enter Enzo Maresca. The manager's tactical ideas, favoring a 4-2-3-1 shape and a fluid attacking system, suited Palmer perfectly. For the first time in his senior career, Palmer was given a clear role and real trust. And how did he respond? With a debut season that set tongues wagging across England and beyond. 15 Premier League goals, 8 assists, 72 key passes, delivering killer balls through opposition defenses that seasoned pros dream of. But it was more than numbers. Palmer quickly developed a reputation for ice-cold nerve. He converted all 4 penalty kicks he took in the league, never blinking, never hesitating. Experts like Jamie Carragher marveled at his composure. Palmer's composure under pressure, especially his penalty record, is remarkable for a player of his age. He seems unfazed by the big moments. The bigger moments just kept coming. As Chelsea stumbled early in the season, questions swirled about the wisdom of their youth-first transfer blitz. Could these raw, untested talents handle the relentless demands of Premier League and European football? Critics jeered at the scattergun spending. For Palmer, the heat was on. His confidence wavered in midwinter, his goal tally stalled, and the glare of the London spotlight felt harsher by the week. Enzo Maresca, for his part, didn't flinch. The bad moments or the bad run he had this season will make him a better player, no doubt, Maresca told journalists. We all know he's a top player. We need to help him to be in right position in right moment, and then he's a quality player. In the last third, he can decide games. Even Palmer admitted frustration. I was just sick of getting the ball and going backwards and sideways, he told reporters after a crucial late-season match. I thought when I next get the ball, I'm going to go, and it worked. It did work. Palmer's moment of redemption came on one of the season's biggest stages, the UEFA Conference League final. Chelsea, hungry for their first European trophy in 3 years, faced Real Betis in Wrocław. Betis struck first, silencing the Sea of Blue. With just 25 minutes left and the score still 1-0, it looked like Chelsea's young guns might crumble under pressure. Instead, Palmer turned the game on its head. Not with goals, but with genius-level assists, 2 sublime passes, reading the game 3 steps ahead, threading through moves that baffled defenders. Within 5 minutes, Chelsea slammed in 2 goals to seize the lead, and the match was theirs. Palmer didn't just play in the final, he owned it. UEFA named him Man of the Match. His teammates were in awe. If you saw what he did today, it was crazy to be honest, said center-back Tosin Adarabioyo. 2 very special individual moments where he was able to hold on to the ball and provide bundles of quality to put the ball onto Enzo and Nico to score 2 great goals. He completely changed the game, and that's what he does, man. That night in Poland symbolized Chelsea's new approach, a financial gamble that, just this once, looked like a masterstroke. The Conference League win secured Chelsea roughly $22 million, about $18.7 million, and granted them a golden ticket, direct entry to the Champions League group stage the following season. Financial relief, global prestige, and a new sense of hope had arrived all at once. But Palmer's impact was even bigger than silverware. Chelsea's internal metrics, data analytics, and scouting reports glowed with evidence of his value. Analysts like Liam Twomey pointed to Palmer's uncanny ability to find space in congested areas and deliver precise passes. Alan Shearer, one of England's most respected former strikers, made a bold call. Cole Palmer has the potential to win Chelsea a Premier League title if he continues to develop at this rate. He has the quality and mentality to be a top player. The serious money men at Stamford Bridge, those who orchestrated the outlay of £1 billion in transfers, finally had a poster boy for their vision. Emotionally, this was a vindication not just for Palmer, but for Chelsea's entire new era. The Conference League title was more than a trophy. It was proof that betting on youth and audacity could pay off, at least once. And for Palmer personally, the journey from overlooked backup to national star was cemented when he was named England's Men's Player of the Year in October 2024. Teammates like Noni Madueke said it best. "I think the sky's the limit for Cole Palmer. I don't know if he has a ceiling. I don't know what his ceiling is because of his unbothered nature. Yet, as every seasoned football fan knows, breakthroughs bring new problems. Palmer's success created its own pressures. Rivals had caught on to his style. Defenders marked him closer, kicked him harder, denied him space. The media began hyping him as Chelsea's next Frank Lampard or Eden Hazard, inflating expectations to near unbearable levels. Financially, success brought more scrutiny too. Remember, Chelsea's youth project wasn't just a footballing gamble, it was a high-risk, high-reward business strategy. The Conference League prize money and Champions League windfall relieved some tension, but the club still needed Palmer, and others like him, to deliver results season after season. Could sustained brilliance really come from so many young, untested players at once? And what about Palmer himself? His blistering start was already being weighed against concerns about burnout, injury, or stagnation. Could he keep up this level of performance? Or would the endless grind of Premier League and European campaigns, plus the pressure of being seen as Chelsea's savior, ultimately take its toll? Behind the scenes, Chelsea's sporting directors and coaching staff were already planning. Should they build the whole system around Palmer's vision and skills, or risk becoming too predictable? What tactical evolutions would be needed to keep opposition guessing and protect their investment? And one more thing loomed large: the global football market. With Palmer's value skyrocketing, would Chelsea resist the temptation to cash in if the likes of Real Madrid or Paris Saint-Germain came calling with nine-figure bids? Or could they turn Palmer into the icon that drives a new dynasty in blue? The story of Cole Palmer and Chelsea's revolution is just getting started. But as the celebrations die down and eyes turn to the next campaign, one burning question lingers. Is this the dawn of sustained greatness? Or have Palmer and Chelsea set themselves up for even greater risks and expectations than ever before? In the next part, we'll explore the mounting challenges, tactical dilemmas, and business pressures facing Palmer, Maresca, and the Chelsea board. Can Palmer stay on top? And can Chelsea's billion-pound gamble deliver real, lasting dominance? Or is this fairy tale heading for a new twist? But after the confetti settled and Chelsea's fans caught their breath, a sharper question loomed. Was this Conference League triumph the harbinger of a new era, or just a fleeting spark? For Cole Palmer, for Chelsea, and for the Premier League at large, what does the future really hold? Let's look at the horizon, and the challenges and opportunities glinting ahead. On the surface, the logic seems straightforward. Palmer's meteoric rise plus Chelsea's investment in youth should spell years of success. Yet football, as we know, is never so simple. First, Palmer himself. After his electric debut campaign at Stamford Bridge with 15 goals, 8 assists, and a flawless penalty record, expectations are sky high. Football analyst Liam Twomey notes, Palmer's ability to find space and deliver precise passes sets him apart from most young midfielders. His vision is outstanding. He's become Chelsea's creative heartbeat overnight, the go-to man for moments of magic when it matters most. But this stardom brings its own weight. We've already seen Palmer endure a post-Christmas dip, 17 games without a goal, before his emphatic resurgence in the Conference League final. As coach Enzo Maresca put it, the bad moments or the bad run he had this season will make him a better player. We all know he's a top player, but he needs to be in the right position at the right moment, and then he's quality. That's the challenge. Can Palmer shoulder the relentless demands of Premier League and Champions League football, with every defender expecting him to be the difference maker? Injury avoidance becomes critical, as does his mental resilience. As Jamie Carragher observes, Palmer's composure under pressure, especially his penalty record, is remarkable for a player of his age. He seems unfazed by the big moments. Yet no player, however brilliant, can lift a club alone. Here, Chelsea's broader gamble on youth comes into sharp focus. Since May 2022, the Blues' new owners have poured over £1 billion into fresh faces. It's a business model built on developing young talent, balancing financial fair play, and betting that tomorrow's stars will mature together. Noni Madueke, Palmer's teammate, captures the optimism. "I think the sky's the limit for Cole Palmer. I don't know his ceiling because of his unbothered nature." That fearlessness is infectious, but youth can be volatile. As we saw in the final, Chelsea needed every ounce of Palmer's unexpected leadership to turn the tide against Real Betis. This sets up a fascinating paradox. Success breeds expectation. Palmer and his cohort now face a season where fans and board alike will demand not just flair, but consistency. They need to prove the Conference League was no outlier, and that Chelsea can translate youthful exuberance into weekly dominance. Tactically, too, there are tests ahead. Under Enzo Maresca, Chelsea often employ a 4-2-3-1 formation, with Palmer at the tip of the spear, dictating play. But as European opponents study his patterns and Premier League rivals adapt, will Palmer and Maresca find new tricks? Football's best are always evolving. And then, the business side. Chelsea's Conference League win brought in nearly $22 million, a welcome boost, and, more importantly, a Champions League berth. That cash flow is vital, not just for transfers, but for keeping the current project afloat under the sharp scrutiny of financial fair play regulations. The ability to attract and retain top talent, from Palmer to his supporting cast, hinges on reliable Champions League income. Yet financial pressure can cut both ways. What if results falter? Would the board endure another trophyless year, or would they panic, pressing restart on yet another rebuild? There's another potential risk: the bright lights of global football. Palmer has already drawn praise from icons like Alan Shearer, who says, "Cole Palmer has the potential to win Chelsea a Premier League title if he continues to develop at this rate." But with stardom comes poaching. Big clubs, even Real Madrid or Paris Saint-Germain, could come sniffing if Palmer's ascent continues unchecked and contract negotiations stumble. So, we see two possible storylines. In one, Palmer thrives, building on his player of the match performance in Wrocław. He dodges the typical sophomore slump, stays healthy, and cements himself as one of Europe's brightest playmakers. Chelsea become a fixture in the Premier League top four. Their young core matures, and, with Champions League football secured, Palmer even enters the fringes of Ballon d'Or conversations by 2026. In the other, cracks appear. Palmer faces burnout, injuries, or becomes the target of overzealous marking. The chemistry of Chelsea's youth project fizzles. Tactical adjustments fail to keep pace, and financial constraints force uncomfortable choices. The dream, in this scenario, is endangered. The revolution stalls, and both club and player must reckon with the cost of their bold strategy. But let's move beyond Chelsea and Palmer for a moment. What lessons does this saga offer for fans, young athletes, or anyone watching the story unfold? At its heart, Palmer's journey is about resilience. His career wasn't a straight line. From the backwaters of Manchester City's reserves to the high stakes of Chelsea's European push, he learned to turn setbacks into fuel. When Palmer endured his 17-game goal drought, others might have buckled. Instead, he doubled down. His own words after the final say it best: "I was just sick of getting the ball and going backwards and sideways. I thought next time I'm going to go." This is a powerful mindset, not just in football but in life. Everyone faces dry spells and moments of doubt. What counts is the willingness to push forward, to take risks, and trust your abilities. That's how breakthroughs happen. The next time you're stuck in a rut, remember Palmer's refusal to play it safe. Another crucial takeaway is the value of teamwork. Chelsea's youth revolution worked not because of one man, but because Palmer had support, from the pragmatic Maresca to hungry teammates like Enzo Fernandez and Nicholas Jackson, and the faith of a club willing to trust in youth. Building a winning project in sports or business is never just about individual brilliance. It's about creating the environment where talent can flourish. Clubs that take smart, patient risks, like Chelsea's calculated investment in future stars, can reap outsized rewards. But it demands patience, a clear plan, and an unwavering belief in your long-term philosophy. If you're a fan, the message is simple. Temper your expectations, but savor the ride. Young stars will have their ups and downs. Now more than ever, football is a game where patience and vision matter. Recognize the courage it takes, for a club or a player, to bet on potential rather than quick fixes. If you're a young athlete or creative yourself, Palmer's story holds a mirror. Your breakthrough might come not when everything's going perfectly, but when you dare to try something new in a tough moment. Don't just play it safe. When you sense your chance, go for it. That's how legends are made. And for anyone fascinated by the world of football business, Chelsea's approach shows the new logic of the game. Huge transfers bring headlines, but sustained success now hinges on developing and empowering the next wave, both on the field and behind the scenes. Even in a billion-pound project, it's the human risk, the belief in youth, that turns money into meaning. So, can Cole Palmer and Chelsea sustain their stunning success? The answer, at least for now, is yes, but only if they continue to evolve. The Conference League title was not an endpoint, but a springboard. Palmer has proven he can be the difference in decisive moments. The club has proven that betting big on young stars can, at last, deliver silverware. The real intrigue is what comes next. With Champions League nights returning to Stamford Bridge and Palmer's name lighting up headlines across Europe, this story is far from over. If Chelsea stay the course, resist quick-fix pressures, and keep nurturing their core, the Premier League could see the birth of a new powerhouse. If not, the dangers of impatience and overexposure always lurk. But here's a secret fact. During Palmer's goal drought, Chelsea's analytics department recommended temporarily resting him for lower-stakes matches. But Maresca refused, insisting he needs to feel trusted, especially when it's tough. That stubborn faith, invisible to the outside world, might have been the turning point. For now, Chelsea fans have every reason to believe the youth revolution is more than a marketing slogan. In Palmer, they have a star who matches flair with fire, statistics with steel. In a game that never stops reinventing itself, maybe that's the boldest gamble of all, and the one most worth watching. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Cole Palmer's rise, Chelsea's daring project, and what their success means for the future of football. If you enjoyed this story, hit like, drop your take in the comments. Can Palmer become a Ballon d'Or contender, or will Chelsea's gamble backfire? And don't